Good morning, afternoon, or evening, y'all. My name is Shannon, and it's been like a little bit since we last spoke. So, just to catch you guys up, I turned 23. Thanksgiving happened. The holidays are happening now, and today is the first day of the 12 days of vlogmas, bookmas, whatever you want to call it. But for these videos, it will be a sit-down video every other day and a vlog every other day as well. I'm so excited to be doing these videos. I'm really hoping that I can stick to this upload schedule because, as you all can tell, I've been struggling a little bit with that, but I am much less busy now than I was a month ago, and I'm so excited to be making all these videos for you guys. So please subscribe so you guys can stay tuned to all the super fun videos and all the super fun things we're going to be doing in the next couple weeks. But today we're going to be talking about the books I am hoping to read slash finish before the year is over. I don't know how many books we have. I know it's too many for me to finish all of them, but we'll get into that in a second. The first book is predictably, obviously, Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. I started this not too long ago, back when I was super busy with life, and I just got so sucked in, and I know I'm going to love this book. I just need to actually read it. And now that I have the time, I'm really hoping I can sit down and finish this book, maybe even Redeeming Six as well, but that's super ambitious. If you are unaware, this Boys of Tommen series follows a friend group, family, anything you want to call it, through kind of their like high school times. And it's super dark. Like, there is so much trauma in this friend group, but the first two books, Binding and Keeping 13, follow Johnny and Shannon, and they have such a wonderful love story. I adore those books with all my heart. And Shannon is Joey's little sister, and Saving and Redeeming Six follows Joey and Aoife, his girlfriend, who he's known his entire like high school life. He has always been in love with her, and I'm so excited to get into this. The trauma for Joey and Shannon is both that their father is an incredibly abusive alcoholic, and it gets really hard in some points. I won't even lie. I was shocked when these were traditionally published and this was put in the YA section. Like, legitimately flabbergasted. I could not have been more surprised. But it is an absolutely incredible series, and I'm so excited to keep reading it. Next, we have The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is the second book in the Cruel Prince trilogy. I can't remember what the actual series is called, but the first book is The Cruel Prince, and it is about Jude and Carden. And Jude is a human who was brought into the Feywild, like, forcibly and raised there, and things just go absolutely sideways, and she's begun training with her new kind of basically stepfather, and he turns her into a ruthless person, and I just absolutely love her with all my heart. And then there's Carden, who bullies her severely in the first book. I'm not gonna lie, when I first read it, I absolutely hated Carden, but I won't lie, he does grow on you. The only reason I didn't immediately go into this book was the fact that Cruel Prince has so many twists and turns that I literally felt like I was getting whiplash from reading that book so fast. And it was just absolutely crazy, but I literally loved it, and I think more and more about it every single day, and I really hope I can finish it this month. The next book I'm hoping to finish is Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. This is the third book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. The first was Done and Dusted. Thank you. But I have been waiting for this book for so long. The second I read their interactions in the first book, I knew they were going to get a romance, and I am so happy that it's finally here. It is kind of an enemies to lovers, single dad, best friend's brother tropes, and I'm so excited to get to this. It's also a cowboy ranch romance, which, I mean, it literally sounds perfect. Like, you can't tell me a single thing that sounds wrong with this. And I'm just so excited to read this book. She honestly kind of reminds me of Willa from Heartless in the Chestnut Springs series, and he also reminds me of, I can't remember the male's name in that. I think it's Cade. But I just am so excited to read this, and I love her books so much. They're such nice, easy, breezy romance books, and I rated Done and Dusted 5 stars, so I know I'm going to enjoy this. Next, we have Normal People by Sally Rooney. I started reading this back in February of this year, and clearly I didn't get far. I knew that at the mental state I was in back then, it would not have been good for me to read this. The way that Connell treats Marianne is abhorrent, and it was making my skin crawl, and I could tell that I was going to get very deeply obsessed with this book if I continued reading, so I decided to stop for a little bit because I didn't want to put myself into a reading slump. And I do really want to get back into it, but I know it's going to destroy me. I'm hoping I can get over that in the next couple weeks. If you don't know what this book is about, it's about Marianne and Connell, and this book spans over years of their relationship and knowing each other, but it originally starts out at high school, I think, and Connell's popular, Marianne is very much so not. And they end up intersecting outside of school, kind of starting a romance, and things just go on from there. And the way he treats her, I can't stand it. But I know I'm going to love this book so much, so I know I need to give it another shot. The next book I am hoping I'll get to is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This book, I heard wonderful things about this series months ago when it first popped off on TikTok. But what really influenced me was one of my favorite YouTubers ever, Hannah Elise. She has recently gotten more into reading on her channel, and I love that for her. But she read this, she rated it 5 stars, and her description of it just sounded so good, and so I knew I wanted to pick it up. It is about Clementine, and she moved into her aunt's apartment, and her aunt always told her her apartment was magic. Obviously, she never really believed her, because, I mean, who would? But when she moves in, she quickly realizes that it is magic, and sometimes when she goes in her apartment, it slips into 7 years in the past when it was another person's apartment, and they have all these interactions together, and I'm pretty sure she ends up trying to find this man now because she's only known him in the past. And it sounds so interesting and such a cute way to interpret magic into a romance book, and I'm really curious how it plays out. The next book I would like to finish is Falling Away by Penelope Douglas. I think I started reading this in October, and I never finished it. I don't know why. I was literally eating it up, and I'm just about halfway through. I just stopped. I don't know. I've been really weird about reading, and so I'm hoping I can get out of that in the next couple weeks so I don't have to bring this horrible reading slump, kind of whatever it is, in the new year with me. This book is about Jackson and Casey, and Jackson's kind of always been obsessed with Casey, and she has never been about it. I don't know why, in my opinion, but the romance is just getting so good, and he really has been teaching her almost how to ask for what she wants and start having like a backbone and standing up for herself pretty much, not just taking the bare minimum. And the way she was raised and the way she was treated was so, so terrible. And he's really kind of like breaking that spell for her. And I was literally loving it. And I'm looking forward to getting back into it. The next two books are related. They are Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark. These are the first two books in the Ruinous Love trilogy. I'm, honest to God, not too certain how these books play out, what they're really about even. I just know this series is about two serial killers who fall in love. I'm sorry, like, literally what kind of trope was ever thought of that was like that? And it sounds so interesting and intricate, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays out. I don't know why, but these books have just been in the back of my mind these past couple weeks, and so I really would like to get to them. Okay, the last two books are hefty ass books and kind of ambitious. Don't know if I'm going to get to them, but I would like to mention them anyway. So, the first, we have The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. Again, Hannah Elise influenced me to buy this. The first time I heard her talk about this, it instantly sounded like something I would enjoy reading. The way she described it was a family in the 70s who ends up moving to Alaska, of all places, when this dad decides to like uproot their life pretty much. And there are so many aspects to it. The wife is completely dedicated to her husband. Her husband is a war veteran who has insane PTSD from the Vietnam War because, as we all know, I feel like the Vietnam War is like a case study in just how it affects the soldiers that were in it. And if you aren't aware, my husband is in the military. I'm just so looking forward to seeing how this unfolds. And they also have a daughter that's like trapped in her parents' relationship and like how it affects her. And it sounds so incredible. And I'm so looking forward to reading this. It sounds so good. And then this was also on my October TBR, so I'm so sorry if this is like repetitive for you guys, but A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I have been rereading this series for my sister-in-law because she is reading it for the first time and she said she would like my annotations. So yeah, and I started this book. I got past what I would call my favorite part in the book and I kind of just slumped. And yeah, I'd really like to pick it back up though. This series is one of my favorite series of all time. This is my favorite book in the entire series, and I'm just so looking forward to it. And it's just so fun to read. I honestly don't even know any way to articulate the way I feel about reading this because it's such a fun time to read. Anywho, those are all of the books I'm hoping to at least start before this year ends, and I sincerely hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm so looking forward to sharing these 12 days of Bookmas, Vlogmas, whatever with you guys. I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for the 12 days of Vlogmas videos. I hope you all are having an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.